All right, ladies. Ooh, man, sorry about that. Gosh. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We'll got something going on there. We'll call this Tuesday, March 10th, Finance Committee meeting to order. And at this point in time, I will yield the floor to Chairman Keller.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, everybody. Item 1 on our agenda this evening is consideration of a resolution to approve for approval for the police department to provide pay incentives to employees for referring police applicants that are hired by the department, sponsored by Russellville Police Department. Moving forward, item 1 of the full council with a recommendation of approval.
Second.
Is there any discussion on item 1?
You know, I think this is kind of a new thing. At Denali, we do that same thing with our truck drivers. We give referral bonuses and whatnot when they send somebody over. So I like it. Good,
Yeah.
Good thinking outside the box.
Yeah, 100%. Is there any other discussion on item 1? What are the incentives, Chief? Sorry.
No, that's fine. We started out for a plain recruit.
If you would get to the microphone, if you don't mind, Chief. I'm sorry. I know it's your first day at a council meeting, but no, I'm just kidding.
Been a while.
It's been, no,
No, the incentives we went with to start off this program was $500 for a new recruit and $1,000 for a certified officer that's brought to our agency.
you modeled this off of a policy that's already in effect in Little Rock, correct?
I modeled it after the city of Little Rock. They had a similar program and policy, so I modeled it after theirs.
Have they had success with that?
I'm sure they've had some success. Like I said, my employees are my best recruiters, and I don't know how much success. I don't have it like an exact number at Little Rock, but as far as trying to get quality applicants into it, I think it's important to have this kind of incentive to aggressively, recruit quality applicants for the police department.
Well, I guess even if you find one to fill a position, that's going to
Yeah.
make it worth it. So yeah,
Correct.
So I would, yeah.
Is there a requirement length of stay that goes along with it?
There's not a on the policy, yes, there is. How we modeled it was if it's a new recruit, we want them to graduate the academy before it's payable to the employee, which is about a 14-week process, about 3 months. And we modeled the certified officer in the same fashion, about 3 months. That way, a certified officer actually goes into training a lot quicker, and we actually have documentation to mark that. So it's like 90 days after they start their first day on the street, which is a daily observation report that we do for those. So they're about 3 months similar.
So is there any requirements, like if I go to police academy and I get certified and I get out, can I just leave and go be Pottsville's police officer?
There is state statute that allows the city to charge that agency if it's somebody we send to the academy, and they hire them within 2 years of us sending them to the academy, we can send that city a bill to recover about 50% of our costs.
Good deal. Thank you for the info.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Is there any further discussion on item 1? Hearing none, all those in favor of forwarding item 1 to the full council with a recommendation of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Item 1 is forwarded. Items 2 and 2A. Item 2 is consideration of a resolution to authorize the mayor and the city clerk treasurer to execute a contract with Hard Rock Construction Incorporated to construct the recycling center located at 1801 South Knoxville and approve an appropriation ordinance in the amount of $23.65 and authorizing the establishment and funding of a new public recycling drop-off facility. And then item 2A is that appropriation, again, in the amount of $242,823.65, and that would come from Fund 27, Economic Development Capital Fund. I move we forward items 2 and 2A to the full council with a recommendation of approval.
Second.
Is there any discussion on items 2 and 2A?
Yeah, I'd like to know, this is just to build it?
Yes.
And then what is the anticipated monthly or yearly operating cost?
The anticipated costs are about $12,000 a year. $12,000 this first year, to take that to Green Source. Green Source will pick it up and take it up there and drop off a new recycling bin that's for the city of Russellville with stickers labeling what can go in those bins. Additionally, Ace Epic Glass will be picking up our glass recycling at no charge to the city. And so there are not like operating expenses. I'll be over there daily making sure that it's cleaned up. We will have cameras on it that are connected to Russellville Police Department, looking at license plates and faces and what you're dumping, so we can kind of monitor that. But there's not a like annual expense beyond the dumping fees associated from Green
And
Source.
we will be sharing that with the county like
Yes,
the
sir.
county did. You were on the quorum court before, and we kind of shared that expense with the county, so it'll be likewise, you know.
And we're working on a formal agreement
Yeah.
between the city and the county for those split fees.
Is there tip fees with the stuff that's going to green, whatever you said?
That's that $150 per load that
load.
goes up. There's about $12,000 a year.
But that's just the delivery, that's not the actual tipping fee.
Well, it goes to their facility. So
It
yeah,
goes to
it's
their-
$150
Flat
per
fee.
load. Yeah, it's a flat
That's
fee.
what
The flat fee?
Yeah,
okay.
flat
Yeah.
fee for that load, yes.
Make sure,
Yes,
okay.
yes.
That's what Green Source will charge us for that.
Gotcha.
Yes.
So what's the 242,000 paying for? I mean, we love
Building, I mean, there should be a design, is there not a design in the package?
There is a
Yeah.
design in the packet.
You've got
It's to-
concrete slab on that, you've got fencing, you've got cameras, you've also got some blacktop that we're bringing that blacktop driveway all the way down to the fence, from the road there into that new, recreation and parks facility. And then we're doing a little bit of, blacktop in that facility and I think that has 2 gates too, doesn't it?
It has two gates so that parks can get into it. They're automatic gates so that parks can still operate and go through to their yard for their equipment. It includes lighting, so this will be a lighted facility, and there will be a little bit of landscaping with that as well.
So
And
what-
lots of signage.
So what's the, I guess I'll say difference? We've got curbside recycling now. What's the advantage of going here versus what we've got?
So about 40% of our residents don't have curbside recycling because curbside recycling is only for single-family homes. So if you're not in a single-family home, you don't actually have recycling. Additionally, you cannot recycle glass and you cannot recycle e-waste at your home. So this includes glass. We've worked out a deal where the recycling, once this is all set up and this location is there, they're not charging us to come get the glass. And we will be doing a biannual e-waste drive. If we determine that there's a need to do it more frequently, we can always increase that.
Is the glass will be, it's not going to be sorted by color or anything like that? It's all
No,
mixed?
just any
Yeah.
glass.
Okay.
So if I come in there and just throw my trash in one of those recycling bins,
So these are gonna be covered recycling bins. It's gonna be mixed plastic, metal cans, and they're gonna have circular holes to put those in. And then for the cardboard and paper, they're gonna have rectangular holes, so you will have to break your cardboard down to put them in. It's not gonna be easily where I could just dump a garbage bag full of trash in there. We don't want plastic bags. That's not something that can be recycled. We are working with Arkansas Tech University to create a recycling education campaign. They're creating social media posts. We're gonna launch that at our Earth Day event to really get that information out. They're putting a curriculum together so that I can go into the schools and teach about what you can and cannot recycle. Everything will be clearly labeled, but there's going to be signage as you walk in on what you can recycle. If we find that there's been trash dumped, the cameras I worked with the vendor for RPD so that they're connected to RPD, but then they will capture license plates, they will capture your face and approximately what you're dumping in that area so that we can track down who dumped what and respond appropriately.
And it's a walk-up facility too, so that you're
Yes.
less likely, you're not gonna be able to pull your truck up and just throw trash bags in. It's a walk-up facility, and you modeled that after Fayetteville, didn't you? Or where was it at?
I modeled, the walk-up facility is modeled after Clarksville.
Clarksville, okay, yeah.
Fayetteville, you can actually drive up, but they have been doing it for so long that they don't have as much of issues. Plus, they have someone who actually works at each of their recycling locations and monitors when those recycling locations are open.
Sarah, our mayor, since we're doing blacktop, I didn't realize this in the drawings, so this is also gonna help with our new facility out there. Is any of this blacktop gonna be in addition?
It's beneficial to the new
Yeah, that's
facility
what
too,
I
yeah.
thought. So it's
There's
not
gonna be
just-
some parking that's part of this project. There's
Okay.
gonna be some parking that
Yes.
Recreation and Parks will use. The driveway will be extended on in, from the road that will be blacktop to the fence. And so, yeah, there's it's coming out of that economic
Yeah.
development capital fund that
So a
we're,
little two birds with one
yeah,
stone.
we're cleaning that up, yeah. So-
And where the roll-off bins is actually concrete with some bollards, so it won't be like dropped off and hit our fence and damage our fence at all, but it's also strong enough to handle having those recycling bins, roll-off containers dropped there.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Is there any further discussion on items 2 and 2A? Hearing none, all those in favor of forwarding items 2 and 2A to the full council with a recommendation of approval, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Items 2 and 2A are forwarded. And item 3 is consideration of a resolution to enter into basic engineering services agreement with McClelland Consulting Engineering Incorporated for Airport Department Engineering Services, and authorize the mayor and the city clerk treasurer to sign an agreement for such services. Move forward item 3 to the full council with a recommendation of approval.
Second.
Is there any discussion on item 3? Mr. Cart, what can you tell us about this?
So the FAA every 5 years requires that we go out, we request RFQs or statements of qualifications, and that's what we've done. I have 6 copies here that I'd like to hand out to y'all. The first will be RTW.
Or HD, is it HDW? Yeah, okay.
The second will be McClelland Engineers. And sorry, there's only 6 of them, so some of you might have to share. My apologies. And the reason we'd like to go with McClelland Engineers is due to their aviation experience. As you briefly flip through that, you'll find that in McClelland Engineers, they have a plethora of aviation-related projects, pavement-related projects, airport in general. HTW, I have no doubt that that they make a good building and they have a great service, but I believe McClelland will serve us best.
What's it for?
Engineering services at the airport.
Well, I know that, but specifically what?
So pavement maintenance, any kind of projects that I come to y'all with, it's been through McClelland Engineers.
So did we reach out to anybody locally and ask them? I mean, I know you sent out an RFQ, but I'm in that game too, and I get them all the time, so I don't respond to all of them. I usually have the ones that are more dedicated to me, they'll respond and they'll reach out to me.
We did not
personally.
directly reach out, however, we did, of course, we advertised it throughout the state, so it was done legally.
No, I'm not saying it wasn't done legally. I'm just saying that every dollar that's spent here locally, invested here, is 8 times over back into our community. And so, why are we going to give money away to Little Rock or wherever when we could spend it here locally with somebody that actually has a plane at the airport and can do some stuff? We never thought to reach out to them to do that's fully qualified to do any of the engineering. So, yeah, I mean, that's just my 2 cents, that if we're going to do something, at least I think we at least owe it to give a quick call to our local engineers to see if they want to do it, not just a statewide RFQ that nobody sees.
How long was the ad? You said you advertised it statewide.
It was advertised once a week for 2 weeks.
So the way this is structured, do we just enter an agreement with them? So any projects that would need engineering, this is the group that we would call, and then depending on that project, they would then get paid. They're not just paid to be the
No, they're not
engineer.
just paid to be our engineer. They're not paid a salary, if that's what you're asking. No, they get paid commission off of projects.
Where's the main office again?
North Little Rock.
Is this a year-long contract?
It'll be a 5-year contract, so we go out for RFQs for engineers every 5 years per the FAA.
Okay.
And we've been with McClellan for 5 years. I will say they've done us a phenomenal job, and they've been really good to us.
I assume they have expertise in aviation
They do.
engineering.
They have an entire aviation department, as a matter of fact, that has been very, very good to us. They're a great resource. Any aviation questions you have whatsoever, they can answer them. They actually also attend all of the FAA conferences, all of the state conferences and so forth, so they stay up to date on everything aviation. They're very, very knowledgeable on everything aviation, pavement maintenance, anything you can think of aviation.
I get it. I feel like you at least owe it to the local companies to reach out to them to ask their interest, not just throw it out there at a statewide bid and expect them to bite on it. That's a little bit, haphazard. So, what was the pricing difference between them and HTW in this bid process?
So there is no price. We did not request a price for this. There is a score sheet, however. But HTW, as much as I believe that they would, they're a great company, they just don't have the aviation experience that we're looking for.
And HTW, I'm looking at their packet, actually does have an office here locally.
Yes.
That's correct. So I don't understand what we're approving. I mean, 5 years worth of services that we don't know what they're going to charge. We don't know what the project is. I don't even understand what we're
So just
deciding,
general
looking
engineering
at.
services.
Well, I understand that, but general engineering services means absolutely nothing to me.
So I just want to piggyback off that. So is this for a 5-year contract? Is that saying that if we have any projects out at the airport, McClellan will be the engineering services that we use, or will that be part of the,
Correct.
will each individual project still go up for bid, and then another company would be able to bid and include engineering services that were not through McClellan?
Each individual project will still go out for bid, but McClellan will be the engineer for that project.
And it's required, is this required by the FAA is the reason that we have to go out for this?
The only reason we have to go out this is due to the FAA.
Does HTW have a aviation portfolio? I'm looking, but I don't see.
No, they did design a new FBO for Clarksville. However, that project has not started yet. So that's the only aviation-related item you'll find in that book.
Do you know of any engineering firms locally that do have the aviation experience?
Not to the extent of McClellan, not that I know of.
Okay.
Well, I do have one issue. Wouldn't that put us in a little bit of a pickle if we put it out for bid or whatever this is called, but then we are going to come behind and call local folks? That this seems a little, could put you behind the 8 ball or the city. You know what I'm saying? Because you put out something for bid, you put it out for bid, people bid. But if we start going, hey, you might want to bid on that, I don't know, that just, Mr. Smith, is that any tripwire there, or? Not aware of it.
You can put it out to bid again and let people around here know that it's out to bid again. And then at that point, and if we did that in the past during this process and they knew about it, which I've been told today that two local companies did not even know about it, if they knew about it and didn't respond or did not, show interest, I'm totally on board with it. But we at least owe it to our local vendors to let them know that this is out there, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that. I would much rather a local person do it if they have the same set of qualifications, but I'm not in that business, but I think you've been in that business. So when bids go out, if you're in that business, you're kind of looking, watching for that, right? Or no?
I mean, it's like looking in the paper for a job. I mean, you're not, maybe that's some old school way or however you want to look at it, but not necessarily. So,
I was just looking for the bids for our, the recycling project. How many do we have? There's like 8,
We had
10?
7 or 8. That was crazy.
Yeah. So anyway, I just don't want to put Mr. Carp in a position where he's having to make phone calls. I don't know, that just feels like they could get a little,
I get it. I'm not
Yeah.
saying, I don't know what the answer is, or maybe it not be an answer. I'm just,
Yeah.
the process was not handled the way I would want us to handle it as a city, period.
Is there a different way to advertise these to advertise this so that more people are aware of it?
The paper is primarily how we advertise bids at this moment.
That's the legal,
So we just put it in the Courier? Just
Arkansas
curious.
Democrat Gazette.
Arkansas Democrat Gazette, okay.
Is it any different than how we do other bids with any other project?
It would be. There's no cost involved. So this is basically just us saying, hey, you're our engineer for the next 5 years.
You're asking the advertisement, Mr. Bradley?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's how we advertise for bids.
Okay.
We advertise, if it's streets or public works or anything like that, we have to go out legally and publish and advertise for that.
Okay.
So could we open it back up for like a few days or no? I mean, I don't want to get in trouble, obviously, but.
I think that's a Mr. Smith question. How would you?
We could, if Mr. Smith is all right with it, we can do that, but I'd have to advertise it again, and it'd cost us another $500 in advertisement.
So you've got a motion in a second just to get to this discussion.
Yeah,
And
just-
so there doesn't have to be a motion to carry this forward. There doesn't have to be a motion to deny this. If there's not a motion, then it dies. Am I correct? And then but you would
Well, no,
need
the
you would need
motion's-
some type of motion to,
The motion's on the floor.
yeah, could you modify that motion to where you wanted to reopen for RFQs or well, actually, I don't, if it dies, then you can just, you don't have to have a motion to reopen those RFQs, do you? Because if it doesn't go through, Mr. Smith, it dies on the floor or what? Okay, so it did. So it's a motion and a second. So
what I'm going to do is I'm going to withdraw my motion, and then the floor is now open for any other motion that anyone on the Finance Committee would like to make.
Can I?
I have a question. Are you familiar with the local providers that Mr. Olson is referring to?
A couple, yes.
If they did submit interest, would you choose them over McClellan, or?
If they sent in a statement of qualifications and were more qualified than McClellan, then they would be considered, yes.
I just didn't want to go through a process if we're going to get to the same place.
I will say I'm happy with McClellan. I'm very happy with McClellan. They've done the airport well, the city well, and as much as I'd like to keep the funds in the city, McClellan has done us very good over the years.
Look, I use McClellan in my business too. Like, I'm nothing against them. It is all about staying local and keeping those dollars local, for me anyways. That said, I'd make a motion to actually table this until next week for maybe some more research on this.
Is that a motion?
There is a motion to table item 3 until next finance. Is there a second? There's no motion or second. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move that it is, I'm going to move it to the full council with no recommendation. That means that we'll, as a group, get to make any decision on it, and there's no recommendation whatsoever from the Finance Committee. So I move forward it to the full council with no recommendation. No recommendation.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to forward item 3 to the full council with no recommendation. Is there any further discussion on item 3?
Yes, I just want to make sure I'm clear. So, but this is something that's required by the FAA, right?
It is.
So we have to do something,
So,
right? At some point.
What's our
not tonight.
deadline, Mr. Carp?
Okay.
we don't necessarily have a
We don't have a
deadline.
deadline.
right now,
Okay,
no.
just making sure, okay.
No, it's just every 5 years they'll request that.
But
So-
if
all
they
right.
request it every 5 years, then there's got to be a deadline.
There is, but it's not a very strict deadline, I should say.
Okay.
So so we currently are contracted with McClellan as
We are
the
currently.
engineers. When does that 5-year, was it a 5-year period then as well?
I don't know at this moment.
Do you know when that would run out?
Our current contract,
Yeah.
I don't know at this moment, not off
Okay.
the top of my head.
Would you be able to tell us next Thursday?
Sure can.
Awesome. Is there any further discussion on forwarding item 3 to the full council with no recommendation? Hearing none, all those in favor of forwarding item 3 to the full council with no recommendation, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Item 3 is forwarded with no recommendation. Mr. Mayor, that's the last item on our agenda this evening. I yield the floor back to you.
All right, we will adjourn and we'll just reconvene in just a second when Ms. Skelton resets.
Where did you get that?
No, those are yours. I got my copies.
No, you can get it. I mean. Yeah, I mean, it's. You just go back out for RFQ and then they submit the information.
But we have to have, so it's a deadline. Let's say if the deadline for our contract ran out online.
So,
Next Tuesday, next Tuesday.
yeah, I don't even know, does he even know that he's an engineer is the thing? I don't know if he knows for sure, that's the, I don't know. You say, well, you say that, but, I mean, some of the things you're like, yeah, somebody should know, and I'm like, okay, where are we at? We close. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if we can, everybody grab a seat, and we'll get started here. Oh, Mr. Gray went somewhere, didn't he? Well, I'm waiting on Mr. Gray, so. All right, we'll go ahead and call this March 10th agenda prep to order. When Mr. Gray gets back in here, we'll get our magic number going. Mr. Gray, will you give us our magic numbers? One of these days, we're going to get you to give us the lottery numbers, and we're all just going to retire. So, I don't know.
Is the magic number still 31?
Yeah, I think so. 31 number. Yeah.
21.
21. That was not last week.
17.
17. Okay, take a
and
6.
16.
16 and 6. Yeah, okay. All right, cool. Awesome. So we'll have that. This is moving on. Mr. Duval, you got your 2-minute, 2-second going here?
Okay, the Waterloo East Second Street paving was scheduled hopefully for this week, but it's probably not going to happen with the rain coming. So, but I think within the next 2 weeks, weather permitting, this project to pretty much be wound up and done. So we're right there close. The weather's just slowed us down a little bit. Knoxville and Maine traffic signal. They going to pour the rest of the bases for the pedestrian poles Thursday. And then hopefully next week they'll be out there pulling wire, getting a new cabinet in, getting things switched over. So Prairie Creek, we have no issues. Work is moving forward. The rain slowed it down a little bit as well. But as of now, after our meeting earlier, we're actually ahead of schedule, so everything's going good.
Can I ask a question about Prairie Creek?
Yep.
So on El Paso, since the buildings aren't there anymore, is that going to be the side that the trail's going to be on, or is it going to be on the mall side of the?
Yes, that's the side the trail's
So it's
going
gonna be
to
on the
It's going to be on the
El
El
Paso
Paso
side?
side.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that going to be all trail green space, trail?
Glenn, you might need to help with this.
I'm just curious, because now that that's all getting done, it's starting to look great. And I
Yeah,
just
it's
wanna know
looking
what
good.
It's gonna look like.
It's looking good, definitely.
Since that El Paso already has a bike path along that corridor segment, as we're looking at cost on the project, we're utilizing the segment along the El Paso and the bike trail and the sidewalks for that segment. So there's still opportunity for development or other things that the city could do in that area that we're clearing off, but the trail itself will be utilized and the infrastructure is already built along that segment from Parkway up to the intersection of Prairie Creek.
So, okay, so that's open for discussion.
That's
what
open
we
for
can
discussion
do with
after the project's over, if it's a trailhead, if there's other items the city wants to consider at that location. So it will not, an initial alignment did include that.
Okay.
But as we have gone through the design process with our consultant and cost, we're looking for getting the length and the bang for our buck. So we've made some modifications in certain areas for efficiency.
So will the trail is projected to go on and follow past Tech along
No.
Prairie Creek, or no?
No, so the trail will go off-road at Parkway, apologize, at
El
Prairie
Paso.
Creek in El Paso, and then follow that alignment until we intercept the Aquatic Center trail along Prairie Creek, or that intersection, so that will be your alignment through there.
Okay.
So that'll be following the Prairie Creek segment there, and then once we get back across Parkway, then we'll be back following generally the alignment of Prairie Creek until it terminates at the Bradley Cove intersection. That proximity City Mall is our desired goal right now. We're still working with easements and alignment there, but we're very close with that.
Okay, thank you.
Where are we at on B Street? I know they're ready, and we've just had so much rain. As far as where is Jim Bowden at right now?
Talking about
Or have
Main
they-
Street? You're talking about downtown pavement?
Yeah, downtown,
Okay.
yeah. I mean,
Just just trying to chase my
yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm
project.
just that pavement that they got it ready, then the
Yeah,
rain, and
so
it's just
my
sitting
understanding,
again.
We were reviewing and doing follow-up densities on that, and then the rain came. So as soon as the rain breaks, we'll verify the pavement section's still ready, and then they should be paving that.
Okay, because I know downtown's been waiting on that, and then we got to get over in front of Fat Daddy's. So
Yes, sir. There's still a couple more, I think 2 or 3
Yeah, and then
block
we-
segments
yeah.
that are left under paving to do.
okay. Anything else, Kenneth?
No, I'm good.
Anybody got any other questions for Mr. Duval or Mr. Newman?
South Tampa, the north side of South Tampa is complete, right? There was some drainage work that was being
Yes.
done.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
That's been totally complete. All work's been done. There's still little activity in the area from Summit Utilities with some gas realignment, so, but our construction contractor and drainage work's complete.
Okay, thank you.
Good. Awesome.
Thank y'all.
All right. Moving on, we got a couple items here. Unfinished old business will be a consideration of an ordinance vacating and abandoning 140-foot minimally improved section on North Jackson Avenue with 80-foot right-of-way. This will be our first of 3 readings here, I believe? Yes, it'll be our first of 3 readings. Oh, I'm not showing, I thought it was second, but it's not saying anything, so. Yeah, okay, that's what because I was looking at it, I'm going, man, that should have been second, but I didn't see anything. That'll be your second of 3 readings right there. And then, moving on to new business, we'll have a public hearing, open up real quick and shut down. And that's on the consideration of an ordinance vacating an approximately 120-foot portion of 12-foot wide alleyway between lots 1 and 3 and 10 and 12, Block 8 of Madison White Edition. That's also the second, is it not? Or no? It's new, it is new. How did, oh, we did the, yeah. Oh, we set the public hearing was the reason that I'm familiar with it. We set the public hearing with it, so yeah, okay, my brain's kind of fogged up there.
Just for reference, it's a house that was built back in the 60s and 70s. They did an addition right over the top of an alleyway, an alley, so it's like nothing you can do.
Never ever had that happen before. No.
Right.
Hadn't had that happen in about a year.
Yeah, so, yeah, I was going through the living room the last time, so. Item 2 is a consideration, ordinance to amend, ordinance 2052. It's a solid waste ordinance for the city of Russellville. It's just to clarify and underline state authority in ordinance of 2052. It's just to make an amendment to that ordinance that's submitted by, city attorney. So that should, that should be pretty simple. Anybody got any, question or discussion?
I'd like to.
Paul, oh yeah, PPP. There is discussion with Paul Gray. I do want to, before we jump into that, Mr. Gray, I do want to, for the sake of all the council, inform them that I do have a meeting with Cards and City Corp tomorrow at 1 p.m. To try to get everyone at the table, because there has been some discussion back and forth of who's doing what, and so I've got them all coming into the office to try to sit down and hopefully get everybody at the same table and find a resolution. So, and then Mr. Gray, if we want to talk about PPP.
Well, I actually didn't intend to, but I think Gina took my email when I said, I was just putting it in front of the council again, since then Gina called me and I said, okay, just leave it there.
Yeah.
And we'll, so I've been in contact. I'm a dog with a bone with this thing. It's been, 3 years?
Yeah.
Something I've been railing about this. Things have been fine for about 5 months, and then no complaints, or one in a blue moon they get a complaint, and then mid to end February it just started up again. And I got out. I went to have lunch today at Point Remove and got out of my truck and went, ooh. So anyway, the complaints are rolling in again. The new plant manager is very responsive, but I'm just kind of hearing some of the same stuff again, and I just want the council to be aware of this, and I want if we can just, youth council, if y'all can encourage people to fill out the odor form. When you smell it, go on the city website, fill out the odor form. You don't have to ask for a response or anything, but the more data I can collect, the more we can have, possibly recourse as we work with them. And last August, I think y'all may remember when the plant had significant issues, and I finally called Representative Duffield, and Mr. Duffield had, let's just put it this way, things started happening quickly, including them being shut down for 2 weeks. And so I told the plant manager I don't want to go that direction again, but I don't mind going that direction again if we can't get any help. But it's one thing for it to smell, it's another thing for it to be wretched, like it's been the last week, off-site. If it's on-site, I can kind of live with that. I'm sure somebody across the street can't, but,
A mile away is a different.
yeah, when it's downtown and you can smell it significantly, that's too much. This is too much. So I was just letting y'all know where I am, that this is starting to be a problem again. And I know Emily gets the emails. Do you get them now, Mr. Keller? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
There's 3 of us. If you want to get on the email, just tell James, and he'll get you. Every time an odor thing comes in, you too can play along. So,
Mr. Olson.
We had 46 soccer teams, about 15 kids each, and they were U11 to U14, so their family was there too. The tournament went absolutely great. Everything, nothing but rave reviews about our organization and communication and everything we did to cater and help them and everything. But every single team said something about the smell. And that's just, you don't want to be there. I mean, there was a couple teams that said, I don't know, we're going to come back, because I'm not going to sit out here in the open and watch my kid play soccer and it smell like this.
yeah, one of the emails I got this week on the odor form was she said she had been to a soccer tournament with a friend coming in from out of town, and they said, we're not coming back. Tournament's great, but there's no need for this. So it's an economic issue too. It's a quality of life, but it's also an economic issue. I don't want people coming to that fabulous facility out there, and then they have that experience and go, well, I don't want to come back here. So, again, I don't know what all we can do about it, but I want to continue to let them know that we're monitoring them, and we want them to be the best neighbor they can be. That is all.
Okay. Anyone else? All right, I do want to make you guys aware, if you are available tomorrow afternoon from 2 to 4 at Central Fire Station in the training room, Bart Nolan is retiring, so we do have a firefighter retiring. So if you would like to go by there and thank him for his service, that will be at Central Fire tomorrow. So, all right. Anyone have anything else for the good of the organization? All right, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
All right, we will adjourn. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll see.